Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blackbird. Today, I'm sitting down with Alex Katz, the Executive Director of Neighborhood Ninjas. Alex, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Just to start off, you're a ninja. How did you become a ninja?
That's a great question. So, before I became a ninja, I was actually really involved in competitive obstacle course racing. I was living in Rhode Island for grad school, and when I moved back to Connecticut for a job, I realized there was nowhere for me to train. And then luckily, Real Life Ninja Academy opened up in January of 2017. And, I had seen the show. I was like, this looks cool. Let's see if I can do it. So I went to go check it out, absolutely fell in love with it. And now I actually coach at Real Life Ninja Academy, and I competed in the World Finals this past February. I'm applying for the show this year, again, seeing what happens, fingers crossed. Applications are due, in a month, and I have just been, going to as many competitions as possible and just really trying to put myself out there.
What do you think the core fundamentals of being a ninja are?
So when we work with kids, we always ask them, what's one thing a ninja always is? And we joke that it's, being really quiet and stealthy because we want them to have good body awareness. For me, I think that really one of the fundamentals of being a ninja is just being compassionate. You don't think about that because you think of these ninjas as being super athletic and really daring sometimes, but something that a lot of people might not know about our community is that we're just a really caring and compassionate community. Everyone is very close. Everyone's always looking out for one another, and that's one of the things I love most about being a ninja.
As far as Neighborhood Ninjas, how did it start? What's the concept and the drive? What's it trying to accomplish in our communities?
Yeah, so really what we envision is a community where kids can, one, be kids, right? So that's part of the fun of ninja, is that you get to play, you get to have fun, you get to express yourself, but you also grow so much mentally and physically from doing ninja. The issue is that a lot of times kids might not have the resources to be able to be a part of this community. Ninja gyms can be expensive, and so one of the things that we try to do is provide scholarships for kids who we think could use a little extra motivation and mentorship in their lives. So whether it is a kid who has identified financial need, or maybe a kid who needs a little bit extra support, maybe someone who's in foster care or doesn't necessarily have those support in other ways in their lives, we work with agencies and schools to identify the kids and then partner with Ninja Warrior gyms around the country to provide funding for these kids to be in the gym. And then sometimes while they're there, the mentorship happens organically with, other adults that are in that space. As I mentioned, it's a very caring community. And other times we actually do have a curriculum mentorship program that we tried to roll out. So it's this really, really thoughtful curriculum that is really intentional about how we work with these kids. And we actually have had two gyms in Ohio and California partner with us for this mentorship program. But, for the most part, with the variety of schedules that gyms have, we really just work with them to get the kids in. So we're providing that access. Something else that we do is host community days. So we really also envision a world where ninjas are proud. They're walking down the street with their head held high. They're compassionate. They're caring. They've got that confidence, and we want their whole community to see that. So sometimes we'll host events where we're bringing in the communities, bringing in their families or caretakers, and really just inspiring these kids to be confident and to really push themselves. So one of the things we say is we really want to instill the 5 C's in our kids. So the 5 C's for us are competence, confidence, connection, community, and character. So those are some of the things that we're trying to build in our little ninjas.
Well, okay, I was going to ask, can you describe a time, either in your personal life where being a ninja helped you overcome like an emotional or a mental obstacle, and also any obstacles that the organization itself has faced in becoming what it is and how that was overcome?
So for me personally, it's really helped challenge me and push me, and that I feel like I'm almost unrecognizable when you look at my ability level now, not just physically, but also just mentally, just going for it, and that's one of the things that we really want to see in our kids as well. I would say one obstacle that we faced as an organization would be transportation for our little ninjas. So it's great when we can partner with gyms. It's great when we have kids who really want our services, but sometimes they don't have the transportation to get there. And so that's something that, we're working on, because we need that transportation for our programs to run smoothly. They need to be at the gym for it to happen. And so, sometimes it's something like the agency we're partnering with isn't able to bring them. Maybe their parents are working multiple jobs or don't have a working car. So there's all these barriers to actually implementing our program. So that's something that I'm working on right now. And I'm also I didn't mention it previously, but I'm also working on a big little mentorship program. So instead of mentoring the group as a whole, it's going to be one-on-one big little ninja pairing. So that's also coming soon. It's in the works. And so, as I'm releasing this new program, I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of obstacles.
I guess kind of in that vein, for anybody that's watching, what are some ways that they could get involved or help support your mission?
Yeah. So there's a ton of ways that they could get involved, and one of the main things would be share our posts. So right now I'm posting about our competitions that are coming up or new programs that we're unraveling. And so, if they could share that, if they could help publicize in their networks and really just help us bring attendance numbers up, because these community days, one, it's a program that we do, but two, they really help with our fundraising efforts as well. When I released the link for the scholarship fundraiser for finals, if they could repost that. We're also looking for ambassadors. So if they want to sign up to be an ambassador and help promote us, that would also be great. The commitment is very low. They can buy one of our Neighborhood Ninja shirts off our website, which again will help fund our programs. And if they are a ninja and want to wear it while they're competing, give us a little shout out before you compete. Just help spread awareness. That would be great. If you're not a ninja, again, you can continue to share, you can donate, just really look for opportunities in your community where you can uphold those 5 C's, even if you're not doing Ninja Warrior things.
For anybody out there that may be watching right now and have a good idea about how they want to change their community but don't know how to enact it, what advice would you give them about bringing an idea to life?
Yeah, so I say that there's no idea that's too small. So even if you think, there's no way this will work, or I'm sure somebody's already doing this, or there's got to be better ideas out there, start with your research, figure out what's being done, figure out if it's not being done, what do you need to do to be able to do it? When I first talked to Sarah Lynn about this, I had a similar idea for a while, but had no idea how to go about starting a nonprofit. All the paperwork just seemed daunting. And so one of the things I could say too is find somebody who has a similar vision. So I got lucky that I met Sarah Lynn, and she already had the paperwork in process. So really just trust yourself and trust that, you have this idea for a reason. Maybe you want to help someone. Maybe you want to change something. You came up with this idea because you're seeing maybe that there's a need that's not being met. And so it might take time. Obviously starting a nonprofit takes a lot of time. Creating a program takes a lot of time, but it'll be worth it. And so just trust the process and stick it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us today, Alex.
Thanks so much.